What's good, guys? What's good, guys? Back with another one on Chuk-d Football TV, and today we'll be talking about Pep Guardiola. What is going on with Pep? I don't mean to laugh, man. I don't mean to laugh, but hey, like I always say, I support two clubs. I'm an Arsenal fan, and I'm a Real Madrid fan. So obviously, my bias would always go towards Arsenal. But what is wrong with Pep? Like, has has the sauce finished? Is he owing his jazz man? Like, what's going on? You know, Pep. It seems Pep is not the same Pep as we know him to be. What do I mean by that? It shows in the performances. City haven't been performing as they usually do or usually would. In their last 7 games or 8 games now, I think they've lost like 6 or something crazy. I don't even know the stats. I don't want to check the stats, but they have looked a shell of themselves in recent times. And I think, I feel like Pep he's bored now. He's bored of the Premier League now, because for those of us that grew up watching the Premier League, there hasn't been any other coach in Premier League history this dominant. Pep has totally dominated the Premier League, like he does everywhere he goes. But he's dominated the Premier League, I'm looking at my laptop. He's been at City now for 7 years, 7 seasons, and from 2017 to 2024. He's won the league each time, except one time when Liverpool won the league. And even that time, I think they won it by 1 point or 2 points or something ridiculous like that. So Pep has dominated the league. He's dominated the league since he came. He's won the Premier League 6 times out of 7 times. He won the treble. He won the treble very, very recently. So he's one of the greatest coaches of all time. He's definitely top 3. At least club coaches, he's definitely top 3. Now, whoever you want to put as 1 and 2, that is your opinion. But he's definitely top 3 when it comes to trophies. He's a serial winner. And I think the disadvantage that comes with being a serial winner sometimes is, if you're not careful, you can, because you almost expect it, because winning them becomes a habit, just like how failure is. You can tend to be lackadaisical about certain things and ignore certain things because you're so used to winning on a regular basis. Even when it's okay, for example, like 2 years ago, when it looked like Arsenal were clearly going to win the league, and City just went on a dominant run and didn't lose any game from like the middle of the season to like the end of the season, some crazy run. And the same thing as last season. Arsenal were looking like they're going to win the league, and City. So when you are used to being a serial winner, you almost expect it to happen. And that can be very dangerous, because the Premier League is a league that each year, every team improves. Even the smallest teams. Look at this season. Look at Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest are 5th on the table. Nottingham Forest that almost got relegated 2 seasons ago. And it's crazy because City now, they are 4th on the table, which I can't remember the last time I saw City even 3rd at this time of the season. So I don't write them off. I don't think City is going to win the league, but I don't write them off to challenge from January. From what I was seeing today is that they're looking at new midfielders. One of which is Zubamendi from Real Sociedad, and I saw that there was somebody else. I can't remember who the second person was, but I saw that they're looking to get Zubamendi, and there was somebody else I saw. I can't remember, but they're basically looking to beef up that midfield. And if they manage to get a Zubamendi, that would be a really, really good purchase. That would be a really, really good purchase. But yeah, would you say that Pep has lost the plot? I wouldn't say he's lost the plot, although I think he's bored. I think he's bored right now of the Premier League. Even he left his contract to the very last minute for him to sign another. I think it was a 2-year contract. He just resigned. But you can tell he's bored of the Premier League. When you've won it 6 times out of 7 times, come on, man. It's like at this point, at the beginning of the season, just put my name on it. So I still think Pep is Pep. I still think he's one of the greatest coaches of all time. I still think City are going to bounce back. I don't think he's. I can't remember what game was it where I think the fans were taunting him, and he was like this. He was showing how many how many trophies he had won, how many Premier League trophies. Pep is that guy, man. Nobody can take it away from him. He's an incredible coach. He changed the game. He changed the trajectory of football. Now, prior to Pep, no team cared about how good their keeper was playing from the back. Now, teams want to buy keepers that are good with their legs, keepers that can pass the ball, keepers that can cross. Prior to Pep, nobody was doing that. Pep made that mandatory for his teams, playing from the back, the whole play from the back, the getting keepers that can pass the ball, that can cross the ball. Nobody was doing that prior to Pep. So Pep really did change the game. He changed the game. We can't take that away from him, man. People forget that as a player, he was elite. As a player, he was elite. His name is not just mentioned that much because of the great things he's done as a coach. But as a player, he was elite. He won the Champions League for Barcelona. He was their youngest captain ever. So he played for Spain. In the World Cup, I think he won the La Liga as well for Barcelona. But he's done so much, just like a lot of other coaches, like Capello, like Ancelotti, Don Carlo, Madrid's coach. I should probably do like a video on Don Carlo. I'll keep that in mind. I'll do a separate video for Don Carlo. But even Don Carlo, as a footballer, he was a very good footballer. Played for AC Milan. He did great things. I think he won the Champions League as well. So, but these guys have done so well as coaches that them being players and the things they achieved is almost doesn't count. But yeah, Pep, I think this is an unfamiliar territory for Pep, being fourth on the table in any league. I don't think he's experienced that before. Also, the team as a whole, I don't think they are used to this. Hence why even the way they play, you can see that teams are starting not to fear Man City anymore. That fear that usually would come over teams, it's eradicating. Teams now believe that they can go to the Etihad and either pull a draw or actually win. So, and I think City feel that. They feel that teams are losing that respect for them anymore. Teams are not just sitting back to defend when they play against Pep or City. Teams are attacking. Teams are going band for band. Teams don't care. They think they can go there and draw or nick a win. So, what does this say for the Premier League? I think we are tired. We are tired. We are tired of seeing one team dominate so much and just make the Premier League look like kindergarten football. It's time for a change. And I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm not a City fan, so I don't really give a damn. I don't care. But at the same time, I respect what they've done. I really respect what they've done. You know, I just feel like Pep is bored now. He wants to leave. He wants to probably seek a new challenge. He also the legal troubles, the 100 and however, let me even see the charges City have at the moment. Let me see it. So yes, Man City are facing 115 charges. So from here it says the latest Premier League news and opinion as Manchester City's 115 charges case approaches its final decision and public outcome. Almost 2 years on from the Premier League's bombshell announcement. Manchester City are being charged with 115 counts of alleged financial wrongdoing. So yeah, they're facing 115 charges, and I think Pep probably doesn't want no parts of it, man. Like 115 charges, that's a lot. I would be shocked to see that they don't get charged with anything. 115 is a lot. So yeah, I just think there are certain players in that team that are aging. Certain players that have done what they're supposed to do, have been good servants to that Manchester City squad. But I think a change is needed. I think some players, it's time for them to seek greener pastures elsewhere, maybe in other clubs or in a different league. And Pep needs to get new players that are willing to adhere to his philosophy. And I think in no time they might probably be back to where they are, because they still have great players. They still have a Haaland, they still have a Kevin De Bruyne. You know, they have a young Rico Lewis. You know, they have a John Stones. You know, they Grealish, these guys that have won several trophies with them, they still have this, you know, a Doku, they still have guys in that squad. By the time they beef up a few, they buy a few more players, hey, and Pep is really on it. Don't count them out. Do not ever count them out. They have that champion blood in them, especially with the type of coach they have. But we are speaking as regards now. What is happening now? We don't care what might happen in the future or what, you know, past glory doesn't win yesterday's goals. Cannot win today's matches. So we are speaking about now. Pep looks discombobulated. He looks out of ideas. And we'll just wait and see. On Sunday, they face Manchester United. We'll see that will be a very interesting game, because both coaches are not, you know, obviously Ruben Amorim for Manchester United, he's new. He's new to the club, so he has time. Let's give him time. Pep, you know, Pep is Pep, you know, an icon, a legend. Who knows? He might use Manchester United. He might use them to sweep the ground. He might embarrass them, and that might, you know, it's a Manchester derby, one of the biggest games in the world, or in the Prem as well. So that should be a very interesting game there, because both clubs are not, you know, both clubs are discombobulated right now. You know, so that will be very interesting. I would love to see how Pep who he fields for that game. We saw the game against Juventus. They got dragged 2-0, you know, in Turin. And teams don't fear City now. I think that, like I said, that fear factor is quickly eradicating. It's quickly eradicating. Teams feel like there's a lot of loopholes in City's defense. Kyle Walker is not the same Kyle Walker of a couple years back, and that is fair. It happens to the best of them, especially with the position Kyle Walker plays. He's a right, he's a left back, sorry, and we know how he plays. He's a speed merchant. Well, not just a speed merchant. He's quick, he's strong, and all that. He's very athletic, but he's getting up there in age, and certain attributes start to decline, and now you're facing younger, faster players, and it's harder. So, and lot of teams know that. So yeah, that's about it. What do you think? Do you think Pep's time is done? Do you think Pep's time is over in the Premier League? Do you think he's going to come back better and stronger? Or do you think he should just leave the Premier League and try a different league? He's done it in the La Liga, he's done it in German Bundesliga, he's done it in the Premier League. Where do you think he should go next, or do you think he should stay? Let me know in the comment section. Please like, comment, share, and most importantly, please subscribe. Thank you for watching this video, and until next time.